tuned for Super Trax, America's ultimate mudded monster truck challenge. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tallahassee Civic Center in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm Bret, Kepner. You know, monster truck racing has come an awful long way in a very short period of time, but there's one young man who is considered to be the next big rising star in this business. 19-year-old Greg Holbrook, driving the Equalizer Chevrolet, is going to attempt to put the equalization factor on the rest of the monster trucks assembled here.
Hi, I'm Kris Chapman, and we're at the Civic Center in Saint Paul, Minnesota, for the ultimate truck pulling competition, pitting husband against wife. May the best Travis win.
The superstars of the USHRA Association Modified Four-Wheel Drive Pickup Truck Pulling Division will do battle against 40,000 pounds of metal. Plus, you'll see the Twin Terrors. It's Robosaurus versus Vorian. Welcome to Super Trax.
The United States Hot Rod Association presents the ultimate from the wide world of motorsports, Super Trax.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tallahassee Civic Center in Tallahassee, Florida, as we prepare for the first and only qualifying round for monster trucks on an extremely short distance course. But believe me when I tell you that this particular type of racing places triple the amount of pressure on the drivers, because reaction time will probably, more often than not, win a race. First up will be the youngster that we talked about, probably one of the hottest young drivers in the sport today. Greg Holbrook in the Equalizer rear-engine GMC truck in the far lane. The young Tennessee driver lines up alongside the 1990 U.S. Hot Association Camel Rookie of the Year, Fort Worth Texan Rob Morris in the four-wheel crazy Ford Ranger. Now, during preliminary action, we've seen problems for the Equalizer machine. The four-wheel crazy trucks seem to be running extremely well. But right now, it's do or die. One truck against the clock for qualifying. Run for the youngster from Tennessee, keeping it low to the ground for once. There are two different ways to approach this course. He picks the lowrider approach with an elapsed time of 2.31 seconds. That will bring Rob Morris up to the line of the incredible four-wheel crazy entry. And as we pointed out, there are two different approaches to this course. Keeping it low to the ground and using power through the wheels for traction, or sailing over most of the course with a solid first hit on the crush cars. 2.31 seconds, the mark to beat. Morris inches forward and is ready. Waiting for the green light, he leads the line. And Morris takes the airborne approach, as smooth as glass. But the elapsed time for the blue Ford, 2.38 seconds. 0.07 of a second slower than Holbrook in the Equalizer. The GMC with Chevy power retains the lead in this four-truck invitational field. That brings us to this week's Crunch of the Week. Last season in Lebanon, New York, it was Steve Wilkie's USA 1 in the far lane against Bill Weaver and Rambo. At the finish line, you want to talk about glued together, side by side, literally up against one another in one of the closest finishes in monster truck racing. You can see off the starting line, the USA 1 machine got violently out of shape. Then Weaver and Rambo did the same thing, and at the finish line, they were together. That's this week's Crunch of the Week. Super Trax will be right back with more extreme motorsports action. Don't go away. We're back in Tallahassee, Florida, as we continue qualifying for a special four-truck invitational monster truck field on a very short but demanding course. The next driver up, Ron Dennis, out of the state of Arizona, driving John Moore's Tennessee-based No Problem Ford Bronco. Dennis has taken over the driving chores from John Moore after he was injured in an accident late last season, and so far is really an unknown quantity of this machine. This is his first U.S. Hot Association National Championship event. The green light located at the end of the course right now has every bit of Dennis's attention. A beautiful launch. However, the truck may have been a little short on power down near the end of the course as it landed on the crush cars, and that may have slowed him. The elapsed time, 2.311 seconds. The mark to beat was 2.310. And indeed, that will garner Dennis the number 2 qualifying spot by 1/1000th of a second. The final qualifier moves to the starting line. It's a gorgeous piece of equipment, also in one of its first weekends in competition. Longtime U.S. Harmon Association monster truck campaigner Ray Perkowski out of St. Louis, Missouri, best known for his performances with the Evil Force tow truck, the only monster wrecking rig we had ever seen, now with the brand new Invader 1991 Ford F-350. The U.S. Harmon Association ground crew helping line up the 10,000-pound, 750-horsepower monster. The Ford from the Gateway City, now staged and ready. The mark to beat 2.310 seconds. And taking the high-flying approach, Perkowski puts down a good one, but just misses the number 1 spot at 2.33 seconds. That will put Perkowski in the field, but the number 1 spot goes to the 19-year-old from Tennessee, Greg Holbrook, in the equalizer, followed by Ron Dennis and the no-problem Bronco. So that'll set us up for side-by-side eliminations, and we've got championship truck pulling action. Stay with us.